Bijalpura covers a total of 17.4 kilometers, and this stretch is dotted with 5 stations, namely Kurtha, Pipradi, Lohatpatti, Singyahi and Bijalpura. India wants its economic prosperity to bring development in its entire region, especially to our neighbors. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas applies not just to an Atmanirbhar Bharat, but beyond our borders to our friends and neighbors as well.
Now I would request both the Prime Ministers to jointly unveil the e-plaque for handing and taking over of Kurtha Bijalpura section of railway by pressing the launch button. Thank you, sir. Again, I would request both the Prime Ministers to jointly unveil the e-plaque for launch and operationalization of Indian Railway cargo train from Batnaha to Nepal Custom Yard. Sir. Now I request both the Prime Ministers to jointly flag off the inaugural run of an Indian Railway cargo train from Batnaha to Nepal Custom Yard. We will be getting live feed through the RailTel network, and I would request the flags from both the Prime Ministers to wave off the train. Thank you, sir. Next, we will witness inauguration of Integrated Checkpost, ICPs, at Nepalganj, Nepal, and Rupaidiha, India, and the groundbreaking ceremony of ICPs at Sunoli, India, and Bhairwa, Nepal. We will begin by playing a video which depicts the salient features of both these projects.
Enhancements of physical connectivity with our neighboring countries is a key aspect of the Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas vision being extended to our neighborhood. It is also one of the key policy goals of India's Neighborhood First policy.
Neighborhood First मेरी सरकार की प्राथमिकता रही है और क्रॉस बॉर्डर कनेक्टिविटी को बढ़ाना इस पॉलिसी का एक प्रमुख ध्येय है.
Building on the Prime Minister's vision and to connect people across the 1,850-kilometer Indo-Nepal border, integrated checkposts or ICPs are being added to the two that already exist at Raxaul, Birganj and Jogbani, Biratnagar borders. Today, during the landmark visit of Honorable Prime Minister of Nepal, the ICPs at Rupaidiha, Nepalganj is ready for inauguration, and the groundbreaking ceremony of ICPs at Sunoli, Bhairava is being undertaken. These improved links developed under Indian grant assistance will supplement the efforts of easing and modernizing cross-border movement. Situated close to the Buddhist circuit, the ICPs will serve as a gateway to World Heritage sites like Lumbini, the birthplace of Lord Buddha. These integrated checkposts will house all agencies for seamless movement of goods and people under one roof, connecting people and redefining the very meaning of trade and travel across borders. The increase in the ICPs across Indo-Nepal borders will surely bring the people of the two countries closer than ever before, standing as a testament to the timeless friendship between two great nations.
Now, I would request both the Prime Ministers to kindly jointly unveil the e-plaque for inauguration of ICPs at Nepalganj and Rupaidia by pressing the launch button. Again, I would request both the Prime Ministers to jointly unveil the e-plaque depicting the groundbreaking of ICPs at Sunoli and Bhairava. Next, we have the groundbreaking ceremony of Phase 2 facilities under the Motihari-Amlekganj petroleum pipeline. We will again begin by playing a video which depicts the salient features of the project.
With open borders and a longevous sharing of history, culture and tradition for India and Nepal, the connection is special. Prosperity is our common goal.
Our friendship is time-tested and unique. As immediate neighbors and close friendly nations, peace, stability, and economic prosperity of Nepal is our shared objective.
3 years ago, a new saga was written in the India-Nepal relationship with the commissioning of South Asia's first transnational petroleum product pipeline from Motihari, India to Amlekganj in Nepal on 10th September 2019 by Honorable Prime Ministers of India and Nepal. In the last 3 years, more than 2.8 million metric tons of HSD has been pumped at Nepal Oil Corporation Amlekganj terminal, which has resulted in huge recurring saving to Nepal. And now, with renewed vigor, the Government of India and Government of Nepal are poised to script the next chapter in this historic project with the implementation of Phase 2 of MAPL at a cost of rupees 183 crore. Construction of Nepal's first fully automated smart terminal at Amlekganj, which will have capacity of loading 50 trucks, that is 1,000 kiloliter product every hour, which will have the capacity to cater to 80% demand of Nepal in single shift. Construction of 8,200 kiloliter of petrol tank at Amlekganj will enable pumping of petrol in this pipeline, thereby utilizing full potential of this landmark project. The story of redefining Nepal's energy infrastructure continues. And today, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, and Honorable Prime Minister of Nepal, Shri Pushpa Kamal Dahal, will lay the foundation of Phase 2 of MAPL.
Now, I would request both the Prime Ministers to jointly unveil the e-plaque marking the laying the foundation of this project by pressing the launch button. Next, we have the groundbreaking ceremony of the Indian portion of Gorakhpur-New Butwal transmission line being built as a joint venture between PGCIL and NEA. I first request both the Prime Ministers to jointly unveil the e-plaque for the project by pressing the launch button. We will now play a video depicting the salient features of this project.
और नेपाल के संबंध उतने ही पुराने हैं जितना हिमालय और गंगा पुराने हैं।
A story of kinship that goes beyond the distinction of frontiers, connecting the hearts of the people of two nations united by fate itself. A bond woven with threads of history, culture, tradition, religion, and language. India-Nepal cooperation that knits in political, socio-cultural and economic engagements have paved the way for a developmental alliance, securing overall progress and benefit of the people of both nations. The Gorakhpur-New Butwal transmission project is yet another significant milestone that is being added to this forward-looking partnership. Building energy bridges between the two countries, the Indian portion of the Gorakhpur-New Butwal 400 kV double-circuit quad line is being established by a joint venture of Nepal Electricity Authority and Power Grid Corporation of India Limited at a cost of about 462 crore Indian rupees and shall be commissioned in 24 months. The total length of the Indian portion of the project is around 120 kilometers, which further traverses through the New Butwal, New Damoli, Ratmate, Dhalkebar and Inaruva cities of Nepal. That will help power the growth in Nepal. As Nepal looks to ramp up its hydel production, a number of projects have been planned for evacuation of surplus power. The legacy of our past is a priceless gift. Connected by history, the nations have joined hands to give shape to and inspire a progressive present. Together, destined to celebrate a magnificent and vibrant tomorrow. And towards this promising future, today, the Honorable Prime Minister of India and the Honorable Prime Minister of Nepal, in the groundbreaking ceremony, set into motion the construction works of the Gorakhpur New Butwal 400 kV double-circuit quad line.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the exchange of 7 documents signed between India and Nepal. First, we will see the exchange of the revised India-Nepal Treaty of Transit. From the Nepalese side, the exchange will be done by Mr. Ramesh Rijal, Minister of Industry, Commerce and Supplies, Nepal, and from the Indian side, Shri Piyush Goyal, Commerce and Industry Minister. Thank you, sir. Next, we have the exchange of MOU for extension of cross-border petroleum pipelines from Amlekganj Chitwan and Siliguri Jhapa and construction of terminals. From the Nepalese side, may I request Mr. Ramesh Rijal, Minister of Industry, Commerce and Supplies, and from the Indian side, Shri Hardeep Singh Puri, Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas and Housing and Urban Affairs. Thank you, Ministers. Next, we have the exchange of MOU between the Institute of Foreign Affairs, Nepal, and the Sushma Swaraj Institute for Foreign Service, India. From Nepalese side, Dr. Shankar Prasad Sharma, Ambassador of Nepal to India, and from the Indian side, Shri Naveen Srivastav, Ambassador of India to Nepal. Next, we have the exchange of MOU for development of ICP at Dodra Chandni. From the Nepalese side, Mr. Madhu Kumar Marasni, Commerce Secretary, Government of Nepal, and from the Indian side, Shri Naveen Srivastav, Ambassador of India to Nepal. Thank you, sir. Next, we have the exchange of project development agreement of Lower Arun hydroelectric project. From the Nepalese side, Mr. Sushil Bhatta, CEO IBN, and on the Indian side, Shri NL Sharma, CMD SJVN. Thank you, sir. Next, we have the exchange of MOU for development of Pukot Karnali hydroelectric project. On the Nepalese side, Mr. Surya Prasad Rijal, MD VUCL, and on the Indian side, Shri R.K. Vishnoi, CMD NHPC. And now, the exchange of MOU between NPCIL and NCHL for cross-border payments. On the Nepalese side, Mr. Nilesh Pradhan, CEO of NCHL, and on the Indian side, Shri Ritesh Shukla, CEO of NPIL. Thank you, gentlemen. Excellencies, this concludes the exchange of agreements ceremony. I now request the spokesperson of External Affairs Ministry to conduct the rest of the proceedings.
Honorable Prime Ministers, Honorable Ministers, members of the delegation from both sides, friends from the media, now welcome you to the press statements following the meeting that was held between the leaders. May I now request Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi to make his remarks to the media. Sir.
योर एक्सेलेंसी प्रधानमंत्री प्रचंड जी, दोनों डेलीगेशंस के सदस्य, मीडिया के हमारे साथी, नमस्कार। सबसे पहले तो मैं प्रधानमंत्री प्रचंड जी का और उनके प्रतिनिधि मंडल का भारत में हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। मुझे याद है 9 साल पहले 2014 में कार्यभार संभालने के 3 महीने के भीतर मैंने नेपाल की अपनी पहली यात्रा की थी। उस समय मैंने भारत नेपाल संबंधों के लिए एक हीट फॉर्मूला HIT दिया था। हाईवेज, आईवेज और ट्रांसवेज। मैंने कहा था कि भारत और नेपाल के बीच ऐसे संपर्क स्थापित करेंगे कि हमारे बॉर्डर्स, हमारे बीच बैरियर्स न बने। ट्रक्स की जगह पाइपलाइन से तेल का निर्यात होना चाहिए। साझा नदियों के ऊपर ब्रिज बनाने चाहिए। नेपाल से भारत को बिजली निर्यात करने के लिए सुविधाएं बनाई जानी चाहिए। फ्रेंड्स, आज 9 साल बाद मुझे कहते हुए खुशी है कि हमारी पार्टनरशिप वाकई में हिट है। पिछले 9 सालों में हमने अनेक क्षेत्रों में कई उपलब्धियां हासिल की हैं। बीरगंज में नेपाल की पहली ICP बनाई गई। भारत नेपाल के बीच हमारे क्षेत्र की पहली क्रॉस बॉर्डर पेट्रोलियम पाइपलाइन बनाई गई। हमारे बीच पहली ब्रॉडगेज रेल लाइन स्थापित की गई। सीमा पर नई ट्रांसमिशन लाइंस का निर्माण किया गया है। अब हम नेपाल से 450 मेगावाट से अधिक बिजली आयात कर रहे हैं। अगर हम 9 साल की उपलब्धियों का वर्णन करने लगेंगे तो पूरा दिन निकल जाएगा। फ्रेंड्स, आज मैंने और प्रधानमंत्री प्रचंड जी ने भविष्य में अपनी पार्टनरशिप को सुपर हिट बनाने के लिए बहुत से महत्वपूर्ण निर्णय लिए हैं। आज ट्रांजिट एग्रीमेंट संपन्न किया गया है। इसमें नेपाल के लोगों के लिए नए रेल रूट्स के साथ साथ भारत के इनलैंड वाटरवेज की सुविधा का भी प्रावधान किया गया है। हमने नए रेल लिंक स्थापित कर फिजिकल कनेक्टिविटी को बढ़ाने का निर्णय लिया। साथ साथ भारतीय रेल संस्थानों में नेपाल के रेल कर्मियों को प्रशिक्षण प्रदान करने का भी निर्णय लिया गया है। नेपाल के सुदूर पश्चिमी क्षेत्र से कनेक्टिविटी को बढ़ावा देने के लिए सिरसा और झूलाघाट में 2 और पुल बनाए जाएंगे। क्रॉस बॉर्डर डिजिटल पेमेंट के लिए उसके माध्यम से फाइनेंशियल कनेक्टिविटी में उठाए गए कदमों का हम स्वागत करते हैं। इसका लाभ हजारों विद्यार्थी, लाखों टूरिस्ट और तीर्थयात्रियों के साथ साथ मेडिकल ट्रीटमेंट के लिए भारत आए मरीजों को भी मिलेगा। 3 आईसीपी के निर्माण से आर्थिक कनेक्टिविटी सुदृढ़ होगी। पिछले साल हमने पावर सेक्टर में सहयोग के लिए एक लैंडमार्क विजन डॉक्यूमेंट अपनाया था। इसको आगे बढ़ाते हुए आज भारत और नेपाल के बीच लॉन्ग टर्म पावर ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट संपन्न किया गया है। इसके अंतर्गत हमने आने वाले 10 वर्षों में नेपाल से 10,000 मेगावाट बिजली आयात करने का लक्ष्य रखा है। फुकोट, कर्णाली और लोअर अरुण हाइड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक परियोजनाओं पर हुए समझौते से विद्युत क्षेत्र में सहयोग को और बल मिला है। मोतीहारी अमलेखगंज पेट्रोलियम पाइपलाइन के सकारात्मक प्रभाव को देखते हुए इस पाइपलाइन को चितवन तक ले जाने का निर्णय लिया गया है। इसके अलावा सिलीगुड़ी से पूर्वी नेपाल में झापा तक एक और नई पाइपलाइन भी बनाई जाएगी। साथ साथ चितवन और झापा में नए स्टोरेज टर्मिनल भी लगाए जाएंगे। नेपाल में एक फर्टिलाइजर प्लांट स्थापित करने के लिए आपसी सहयोग पर भी हमारी सहमति हुई है। फ्रेंड्स, भारत और नेपाल के धार्मिक और सांस्कृतिक संबंध बहुत पुराने हैं और बहुत मजबूत है। इस सुंदर कड़ी को और मजबूती देने के लिए प्रधानमंत्री प्रचंड जी और मैंने निश्चय किया है कि रामायण सर्किट से संबंधित परियोजनाओं में तेजी लाई जानी चाहिए। हम अपने रिश्तों को हिमालय जितनी ऊंचाई देने के लिए काम करते रहेंगे और इसी भावना से हम सभी मुद्दों का, चाहे बाउंड्री का हो या कोई और विषय, सभी का समाधान करेंगे। एक्सेलेंसी प्रधानमंत्री प्रचंड जी, आप कल इंदौर और धार्मिक शहर उज्जैन की यात्रा करेंगे। मुझे विश्वास है कि आपकी उज्जैन यात्रा ऊर्जामयी होगी और पशुपतिनाथ से महाकालेश्वर की इस यात्रा में आपको आध्यात्मिक अनुभूति भी होगी। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. May I now call upon the Honorable Prime Minister of Nepal to make his remarks. Sir.
Your Excellency Shri Narendra Modi ji, member of delegation from both sides, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, for your kind words. I am equally touched by your warm welcome and generous hospitality. This is my 4th visit to India as the Prime Minister of Nepal. I fondly recall my previous visit in September 2008, and then twice in September and October 2016. I bring with me the greeting and best wishes of the government and people of Nepal. We are happy to see the remarkable transformation of India's economic and development landscape under the able leadership of Prime Minister Modi ji. I congratulate Prime Minister Modi ji on completion this week of 9 years in government with far-reaching achievement on many fronts. The relation between Nepal and India are age-old and multifaceted. These relations stand on the solid foundation built on the one hand by the rich tradition of civilizational, cultural, socio-economic linkage, and on the other by the two countries' firm commitment to the time-tested principle of sovereign equality, mutual respect, understanding, and cooperation. Today, as Prime Minister Modi ji mentioned, we made an extensive review of the progress in our relation and renewed our commitment to further strengthen this relation and cooperation. I appreciate Prime Minister Modiji's neighborhood first policy. In our meeting today, we discussed the ways to further strengthen cooperation in diverse areas, including trade, transit, investment, hydropower development, power trade, irrigation, agriculture, connectivity, including air entry routes, railways, bridge, transmission line, expansion of petroleum pipeline, construction of integrated checkposts, as well as cultural and people-to-people contact. As you all witnessed, Prime Minister Modiji and I jointly launched various projects through remote inauguration, flagging up, and groundbreaking. A number of agreements and MOUs have also been exchanged. We reviewed the progress made in the implementation of the hydroelectricity project in Nepal and toward the construction of cross-border transmission line. It is one of the most important elements of our economic partnership. Nepal's hydropower can not only contribute to our economies and energy security, but also serve as an important factor to realize our climate ambition. I appreciate India's import of 452 megawatt of power from Nepal and requested Prime Minister Modiji for approval of the import of additional 1,200 megawatt of power from Nepal, including 456 megawatt upper Tamakosi. I thank Prime Minister Modiji for positive response. Looking ahead, an agreement on the long-term power trade has been completed. On this agreement, India will import 10,000 megawatt of power from Nepal in the next 10 years. This is a major development in enhancing cooperation in this area based on the joint vision statement that the two Prime Ministers issued in April 2022. I also appreciated India's willingness to facilitate the export of hydropower from Nepal to Bangladesh through India. We have agreed that export up to 50 megawatt of power from Nepal to Bangladesh by India would commence soon, and the three countries would work out an agreement to this effect soon. Today, we also witnessed the signing and exchange of the project development agreement for the development of 669 megawatt Lower Arun hydropower project and the MOU on the development of 480 megawatt Phukot Karnali hydropower project. These projects provide a fresh momentum for power sector development and cross-border trade. Prime Minister Modiji and I agreed to advance the Pancheshwar multi-purpose project by concluding the DPR within 3 months. For this purpose, we have directed our respective officials to expedite bilateral discussion. The modalities of implementation will be concluded within 1 year after the approval of DPR by the two governments. We welcomed the construction of the Tanakpur Link Canal and agreed that water will be released from Tanakpur Barrage to irrigation command area of Nepal through this canal in a phase-wise manner based on the necessary facilities on the Nepali side. I am happy to state that the vital transmission line project under LOC 4 will commence soon. Prime Minister Modiji and I discussed other aspects of the cooperation in water resources, including irrigation. We also discussed to resolve the problem of inundation and take appropriate measures for flood control. We have directed our officials to hold meetings of bilateral mechanisms at the earliest to address the issues and find ways for further cooperation before the onset of monsoon. We discussed the promotion of trade and the ways of reducing Nepal's increasing trade deficit with India. India is Nepal's largest trading partner. I have requested Prime Minister Modiji for non-reciprocal market access to India with more flexible and easy quarantine procedure for Nepal's agricultural products and simplified rules of origin for other products. We also discussed the establishment of well-equipped testing labs along the major border points and formalizing of the arrangement for mutual recognition of test certificate I requested Prime Minister Modi ji to lifting of the anti-dumping duty on Nepali jute products. Integrated checkposts and dry ports are crucial for trade facilitation as well as for seamless cross-border movement of goods and people. Prime Minister Modi ji and I jointly inaugurated the ICP at Nepalganj Rupediha border and performed remote groundbreaking of the ICP at Bhairava Sunauli border. Similarly, we witnessed the exchange of the MOU on building of an integrated checkpost and dry port at Dodara Chandani. The revised Treaty of Transit was signed and exchanged today. We have also agreed to direct early convening of the Commerce Secretary level mechanism to initiate the process for review of the Treaty of Trade. The MOU between the NPCIL and NCHL signed today will ease the cross-border payments much needed by the business people, students, pilgrims, and travelers of both Nepal and India. We just witnessed the groundbreaking of the phase 2 of Motihari Amlekhganj petroleum pipeline. We look forward to its early construction. We have also reached an agreement for the extension of Motihari Amlekhganj petroleum pipeline up to Chittaun and construction of a new cross-border petroleum pipeline from Siliguri to Jhapa on grant basis. Prime Minister Modi ji and I jointly flagged off the cargo rail service between Batnaha and Viratnagar, Nepal Custom Yards. The passenger rail service between Jairnagar to Kurtha has been extended to Bijalpura. I thank the Government of India for its generous assistance in constructing these railway links. We also held discussion on the early completion of the works in the remaining segment and sustained operation of this railway through training and capacity building of Nepali railway personnel. We discussed about Nepal's request for additional air entry route. Nepal welcomes India's positive indication of air entry route for bilateral flights. It is operationally feasible for ATR aircraft. We request for approval of high-altitude additional air entry route from Mahendranagar at an early date. We appreciate India's approval for near-border flight operation in the Gautam Buddha International Airport in Bhairava. Nepal, through publishing ILS procedure in the AIP to enhance safety and efficiency of the flight operation. We would like to have regular flights from Nepal's newly built international airport of Bhairava and Pokhara to and from various cities of India. Prime Minister Modi ji and I have agreed to promote cooperation in the field of agriculture. We look forward to early conclusion of MOU on cooperation in agriculture and in the field of livestock, and we are thankful to the Government of India for the gift of improved breed of livestock and hope to receive germplasm of major cash crop, particularly of the cash crop of the sugarcane and coffee. Prime Minister Modi ji and I discussed the boundary matter. I urge Prime Minister Modi ji to resolve the boundary matter through the established bilateral diplomatic mechanism. I commended the role played and initiative taken by Prime Minister Modi ji during India's G20 presidency as well as SCO chairmanship, including for giving voice to the issues of concern to the global south. Nepal is happy to join India's multilateral initiative of the International Solar Alliance and more recently, the International Big Cat Alliance. As India celebrates Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, I congratulate India for all its achievement, be it in the economic growth or industrialization, infrastructure development, or science and technology, poverty alleviation, or expansion of social security scheme, and many other fronts. Nepal sees India's advancement as the opportunity for Nepal. We also discussed about the establishment of fertilizer plant in Nepal in joint venture, and we will try our best to work together for the successful completion of the project. India is Nepal's close neighbor and important partner for the development and prosperity. As Nepal moves ahead on the path of graduating from LDC status by 2026, India's continued support and goodwill remains important for us. We have agreed to maintain the momentum generated by this visit and take effective measures for the implementation of the agreement and understanding reached today and earlier. Today, I am really touched with the explanation of Excellency Prime Minister Modi ji about the agriculture development in Nepal and about the nano fertilizer project and how we can cooperate. It is touching for me. I think that it is touching for the Nepalese people as well. I have extended cordial invitation to Prime Minister Modi ji for a visit to Nepal. I look forward to welcoming him in Nepal soon. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. That concludes the press statements. Thank you all for joining. Please remain seated as the dignitaries leave.